Now, Cricket Captain 2024 has just been released, and what we're going to do is have a little deep dive into what has actually gone into the game to see if it's any good, to see if they've lived up to the promise of what they've said, and give our initial reactions on should you buy it or not. So to do so, we've got the Facebook post that they initially gave us. And to be honest, when I first went through this, I thought, oh yeah, there's some stuff in there. Now I've actually seen it in the game, I'm not so sure there's huge changes, but what I will say is a small development team who do the best they can every single year to release a game that's got some sort of update and pretty decent year on year that makes us keep coming back and wanting to buy it because we're cricket fans. I'll come back to the commentary stage, but the score predictor is in play. The T20 World Cup takes centre stage. I think I remember saying, I don't think that's much. Well, it's not. It's the tournament that's just generally part of the game when you go into tournaments, like there is every year. The T20 World Cup's there. So if we pick England to be, we can go into the game and do it. You can also go in and select your squads, which is absolutely normal. Now, they did say there was some additional statistics available in the game in a previous post, and I can't find it, but I remember them saying, but I can't find anything different in the game. It is the authentic T20 World Cup experience with two different group stages, or a couple of different groups before going into the Super 8 and then into the final stages. A little bit convoluted. Will be interesting to see if the pitches are as bad as what they are in real life. But anyway, what I want to show you here is the predictor, and it actually runs live. So you can see there's out of 200 simulations, England wins 79% of the time. So if we just play a couple of balls, get to see a little bit of the highlights with McMullen with his medium pace getting pumped down the ground for one.
Oh, that is very close. Just got home, says the umpire. So
and
he's
a bit of Daniel
out.
Norcross giving commentary, and actually I think it's a big improvement. He's got a little bit more energy.
He really has
into
given
his
that one the treatment. The shot of the day, 4
commentary,
runs.
rather than what Jonathan Agnew was.
He's cracked that away. 4 runs, no stopping that one.
And we can see after 1 over we do it, and it actually runs the whole simulation again. So we've just scored 15 runs off 1 over, which would give us an exceptional total, but it's still 79%. But I have seen it move throughout a game. So we go with the end of 6 overs, it's now up to 84.5% with us 52 for 2. And after making a score of 192, Scotland now have a 6.5% chance. So I think that is quite a good addition into the game. You can update it and it does it over more. Oh, I didn't realise that. Okay, so it just keeps adding on and on. So the more times we do it, out of 1,000 times, Scotland are going to win 100. Predicted score 145. I like it. That's a great addition to the game. Did also show this in one of the screenshots, which was Jordan Cox, exceptional cricketer, scoring 100. There's no change here to what has been in previous games. What would be useful, and I did go into it, is actually the stats in a table accumulated from all the games, so you can pick players that are good at certain things and where to target players, would be a massive enhancement. And if you go into your team and into records, you can click on the honours board. It would be, I know I'm griping here, but it would be good to have the opportunity to rename some of these, like you can players in the game and team names, but you can see the hundreds board for batting, and you can see the 5-wicket board for bowling. Do I like it? Yeah, it's a good addition. Why not? Match engine's improved. Takes a little bit of time. I've just done a T20 World Cup. I thought it was reasonably good. International rankings have been updated, calculated from the last 4 years. Well, they're not lying, because the international rankings are in place and they're based on matches played over the last 4 years. Cycle resets in May. 1 bonus point for a series win. And I'm unsure of where the change is here, because looking at this is the previous 2023 version, ratings based on matches played over the last 4 years. Cycle resets in May, 1 point for a bonus win. On the surface, I can't see any change there, but I'm sure there is in the back end. There's some new kits, great. Not too bothered about that, but international player rankings updated with historical data. Now this got me quite excited, thinking great, I can see where a player's trending over the previous years. So this is the new version of the game 2024. You can see the ratings adjusted for strength of opposition, favouring most recent matches, which is maybe something similar to the real life solution. I'm not sure what they do in the back end to be able to do it. But if I click on Kane Williamson, I can't see anything that's around his actual rankings. It gives us the international rankings here, but there's nothing that goes, hey, he was at this or he was at that, and there's no historical data available. So I can't see, unless I'm missing something, please comment in the comments below, but I can't see anything here that goes, there's been a change. Asia Trophy, you can play in ODI and T20 mode. So this is, I feel, maybe misleading. Playing ODI and T20 international tournaments, this may have been AI generated, but when I go into this, I can only select in the Asia Cup the ODI version of the game, which is quite interesting. You can do a custom match series, but it's an ODI Asia Trophy. Domestic systems have been updated, which is great. Improved player generation, I think, is going to take a little bit of time in the game to work out what's gone on. Test championships updated with real life, tournament modes, phone interface, and then just generic stuff. Historical keeper and outfield stats is quite nice. It gives them a bit more of a rounded view, but I do think I'm not sure how it ties into the match engine on the game. Updated versus ground and team records with partnerships, bowling and batting records. Domestic squads for all 146. Updated recent stats for players. I think the main takeout is the run predictor or win predictor. Looking at the help, which normally gives you a few different things. Commentary. Additional categories such as 5-wicket hauls and hat-tricks. The commentary has also been separated so it's relevant to match types. This is a big one that hasn't been talked about, but you can now coach your teams during the winter, which I think is really important because you get all these good young players coming through, and then you do your contracts and you sign them up, and then they do nothing for 6 months, which is very unrealistic. So having the ability to do something with them is going to be really good. But there's nothing else being called out here. So when you in the off season, it says, would you like to manage off season coaching for your squad? So I'm going to click yes. So I can go into here, and it gives me the ability to go in and train people. So I'm Finn to get better at playing against spin because people are targeting him at the start. Mackenzie, I want to work on his front foot batting. Keane is 45,000 salary and only 23 years old, so I want him to work on his aggressive bowling. Same with Gibson, go and do some aggressive bowling. Sussex, a little bit too old. Pereira, you can do some aggressive bowling as well, and that will do with us for an example. So if I click continue, everyone just goes away and it takes its time. Let's see if it comes back and gives you an option to change some of these things, and it does. So it stopped a little bit down the road. So I don't get any feedback that anyone's seen any change. There we go. Ben Lister's improved his catching, one that I wasn't actually doing. So you do get to see some progression during the off season. But my overarching feeling is I think the run predictor is a really good thing. I think the stats desperately need an update. You've got to be able to change some of these things. You've got to be able to use more of the screen. You've got to be able to slice and dice how you want, whether you're looking for openers, all-rounders, batters, people that's batted 1 to 2, put filters in place to make things work. They haven't really, well, they've not addressed that. That's the problem. They've got a filter view, but that's their filter view. It's not my filter view. Slightly disappointed with the updates, which I can't actually find in this save, to the rating system and the historical part. It's not there, but overall it's a game that does get some flack, but it's one of my favourite games. Play it every year, play it for tens, hundreds of hours every single year, have great affinity with the game. There have been some good updates and some that may be caught slightly lacking. Overall, would I upgrade? It's probably a good question. I would, because I love the game. If you've got 2023 and you're not bothered about the score predictor, the honours board, or the changes to being able to play the T20 World Cup, or the updated squads, then I'll probably stick with where you are. But if you're a fan of the game, I'd keep upgrading every single time. Thank you for watching. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about this game. Cheers.